Hello, Taurus lovelies. Welcome back to Lanmou Tarot. This is your general reading for the first half of April 2019. If you're Taurus Sun, Moon, and Rising, I hope this reading resonates with you or anyone else who feels compelled to click on this reading. There may be messages from Spirit for you in here, okay? And this is the Cosmic Tarot deck we'll be using for the main reading this time. And we'll use the After Tarot for clarifications if needed. Alright, here we go, Taurus. Spirit, what message do you have for Taurus friends? What guidance message do you have for Taurus friends, Spirit? I saw a flipper, and that was the Chariot that flipped for you, Taurus. Flip face up. You're on the move. You're on the move. Travel's happening for you, Taurus, in April. Chariot is also the card of victory. Card of Cancer, for those of you dealing with a Cancer. Oh yeah. All right, here we go, Taurus. The Magician, the Three of Wands, Death card, Eight of Pentacles, Seven of Wands, and the Four of Wands. Quite a bit of fire energy here for you. And we have the Five of Pentacles at the bottom. And really, before I started shuffling, I shuffle off camera before I start the reading. And I do a little bit of shuffling as I continue to meditate on your energy. One, two... it's just kind of a habit as I'm talking to you. I always pay attention to the cards that jump out, and it's also, I know a lot of people like to see the shuffling happening on camera, but what I was going to say, I get so distracted here for a second, Taurus, is like when I was shuffling, the wheel shuffle that takes quite a bit longer, that I do as I'm meditating on your energy before I even turn on the camera. That Five of Pentacles jumped out twice, so I'm not surprised to see it here, and that's what's at the bottom of the deck for you, Taurus. While we're actually shuffling on camera, we had the Chariot that flipped face up, okay, in the deck, which told me there was some kind of travel of movement that's happening for you. And we have the Three of Wands here, sometimes denoting traveling. And but here, that's like the energy that's on the table. It seems a little bit more of a serious energy. Okay, we start with the Magician. There was another sign that I did that had the Magician as the first card as well. And this Magician card here, and for whatever reason, it's so funny how you can do one reading, you notice one thing, and another you notice another. In the last reading that I did where that Magician card came, my attention was really being drawn by to hear that infinity symbol and that third eye area, right? But for whatever reason right now, all I'm seeing for you, Taurus, is this right here. It's almost like that shirt, the embroidery on the shirt that the Magician is wearing. It's almost like a curtain of light, right? Of fiery light that's cutting, that's showing the two world, the duality of that Magician card. The things that are happening above his neck, if you're seeing the Magician as a person, or as here it's showing almost like the stars behind him, right? And it's dark, and what we're seeing is the face has that bluish hue to it, and we may see that as above what's happening in the night sky, or and we can also see that curtain separating it as below. We can see that yellow here, denoting like sunlight, right, on earth, as it's showing on earth like the sun rays. And that is what I'm seeing, is that bottom part. That's really my attention is being called to for you, Taurus. So as the magician, you're really starting something, you're really moving towards something new, okay? And the concept, the conceptualization of that new beginning has already happened, right? The conceptual part of it, which we normally see with the Two of Wands, the planning phase of it, right, is already happened. So now we are in that phase of executing it, right? The knowledge that we have here with that third eye, right, with that triangle sitting, that pyramid sitting on the third eye, pointing straight to that infinity symbol, as in having access to higher knowledge that has that you have access to, that have happened in a continuum way from the beginning of time for you, perhaps for meaning different life cycles you've lived on. That access you've already tapped into, right? That knowledge base, you've already conceptualized your plan forward for that new beginning, whatever it is you're trying to materialize in this world, Taurus. So now you are in that execution phase here on earth, on the material realm, okay? In the below, the above you've already done, and you're shining that light from your third eye down, and that's the yellow that's bleeding below, okay? The same yellow of the sunlight that's bleeding below. And that's where you are right now. You are actually executing that plan. You're executing that higher knowledge that you've tapped on, and what you're working on, and you're in the middle of the working, okay? You're work in progress. That Eight of Pentacles I see as a work in progress card, right? We usually see the gentleman in the regular tower sitting there and building, sitting there with his tools and the pentacles, and just going at it, right? The work is in progress. We are working, we are cultivating. And here this is a rift that we see, right? The pentacles of flowers, surrounded decorations on a bed of green, right? With the lotus flower, it seems like at the very center. That's the consciousness, the high level of consciousness. And what do we see? There's an energy flow in the form of that pointed triangle that's rising up again above. Green, the greenery from below, from the earth, right? The flowers, the plant that has grown in this material world is also just like the knowledge from the higher consciousness that's gone below, in order for you to cultivate, in order for you to materialize your wish, your dreams, whatever it is that you desire. Now the fruition of this, the work that you are doing, is also, you're getting something from it. That energy is also going up, is rising up, okay, from the material world, from this 3D plane above to your higher self. You are nourishing yourself both ways. As above, so below. Is going both ways. The work you're doing here on this material world is also adding to that Akashic record. It's also adding to your own personal life cycle record. Taurus, excuse me here. Also we have the Three of Wands. That's the card of, I don't see it as waiting for your ships to come home per se. That's the card of action for me, the Three of Wands. Just like the Magician, the Three of Wands is the one is the offer, is that life source, is that new beginning, is that basically force of nature, right? That's birth, that's like in your face, fire energy, right, from the divine. And the Two of Wands is it's the acceptance. It's like, okay, I choose my path, I choose my way, I choose that one. Thank you. Now planning forward, right? We are in the middle of planning, and the Three of Wands is that sun in Aries. That's action, action on action, fire on fire, right? Aries are ruled by Mars, and Aries is a very action. It's the me. It's the It's the let's go. Right? It's the I. And so and this is the sun in Aries, and the sun is enlightenment, right? The sun is protection. And as you see, it's almost like she's praying up to the sun, like she's raising her hand and it's going straight up to the sun. Her prayers are basically connected. It's almost like she's touching the sun here. So, and the lotus flowers, three lotus flowers underground, growing underground. Her consciousness is also growing, right? It's also growing straight from the ground. The ones are also planted onto the ground. And what she's doing is also raising her arm in prayer, perhaps even a dance, right? Straight to the sun for that enlightenment to occur, as above so below. It's such a deeply spiritual reading so far for you, Taurus, and I feel it. I truly do feel it. I'm a Taurus rising in my Western astrology, so I'm gonna have to go back and watch this reading again to see how really it connects with me. But so that three of wands here, it's you literally taking actions to in executing this beautiful thing that you are manifesting here, right? The magician is also the grand manifester, right? Using all the aspect, all the elements, fire, water, earth, and air, in order to get what you want, in order to materialize your wishes. So manifesting your wishes. And now it's almost like you're doing that dance, that ritualistic dance, that prayer to the sun god, to the universe, to, you know, whatever it is that you believe above there is protecting you, right? To the universal life source, to the divine, right? And it's such an action. It's an action card. You're in the middle of doing what it is that you believe you have to do in order to get to what you want to get to. Okay, and on the bottom here is the Seven of Wands. So that's, again, that's an interesting Seven of Wands. That is courage, that is strength, right? In the Seven of Wands, again, we don't see anybody. We just see the wands pointing at that one man, and he's standing tall. Look at the posture. It's almost like if that one had some kind of fabric attached to it, we would say he's dancing a pas de bleu here. That's what I'm getting. Even with that Three of Wands, there's a sense of she's sitting there still, but there's a sense it's almost like I can feel the movement in her body. There's a sense of a dance here, and it's the same sense I get with that Seven of Wands. Like he's in the middle of a dance here. Yes, he's fighting his way through all those wands, but he's not phased. His face is focused, almost like he has a sly look on his face. The shirt, you can see, is unbuttoned almost down to his navel, and his pants are all the way up there. Like there's a lot of thought that went into this garment that he's wearing, right? And he's the way his feet are positioned, it's almost like he's in the middle of a dance. For him, this is a routine almost that he's seen before. He knows what's the next move that's coming from them, and that's why he's not scared. It's one man against six, right? Mano manos. One man against many. So, and again, the Three of Wands, if we have it to that Seven of Wands, that's give us the Ten of Wands. That's a kind of burden. I don't know why, but that's what Spirit is taking me right now. So there is a sense of here, when it comes to your passion, when it comes to, for you, Taurus, some of you, you may feel like your passion, what you're most passionate about, might have become a burden for you. Okay, and or there's a sense of you taking action towards what you want, what you're manifesting for is gonna require great strength and courage. You're gonna have to display that strength and courage. So it cannot be misunderstood. It cannot be subtle. You will have to display that strength. Others will see it. Right? We don't see the other ones. They might be strong too. We don't care. We don't see them. What we see is what we see in front of us. That's you here standing there against the six ones, right? Your strength is that's being displayed. So you're gonna have to really display in working towards that goal. in putting in the work, in manifesting whatever it is that you want, you're really going to have to display your strength, and it's gonna take a great deal of responsibility. The Ten of Wands is burden, but the Ten of Wands is also a great deal of responsibility, having a lot of responsibility on your shoulder that you have to bear. Okay, there's a sense that you have to go through this here in order to get to what it is you want. And at the bottom of the deck is that Five of Pentacles. The Five of Pentacles is the sign, is a card of lack. And here we see that it's not just a couple, it's a group of people walking around. There's a sense of lack. There's a sense of they're cold, right? Their face looks chagrined. And it's as if like it's a collective thing. It's what's happening in their environment. There's no escaping this. To escape this would have to be to literally leave that environment completely, perhaps to start anew somewhere else. And that, remember, what came face up, flip face up while we're shuffling was the Chariot card, traveling, right? Moving towards victory, moving towards something that's greater. And that's not just you doing, that's the universe pushing you towards that. Okay, that's a major arcana, the Chariot. Because that 5 here that's facing you is what this is all about. It's almost like you're manifesting out of this. You're manifesting the Magician here. You're trying to turn your luck around, right? Whatever it is that you have a sense of lacking, you're trying to manifest your luck around. You're trying to bring greater abundance into your life. You don't want to be cold anymore. You want to see flowers, right? You don't want these ones to just be a placard, a symbol. You know, they're all chipped on this thing. You want them to be yours, that you can enjoy them, not just with a sense of, oh, these ones can give you the daily bread, but also a sense of abundance, that you have enough ones that you can decorate with them in a way that that's enjoyable, that bring you some kind of fulfillment. Like you can smell the flowers, then that scent goes all the way up to your brain, to your chakra, to your crown chakra, and it does something for you. It puts you in connection, a greater connection to the universe around you, right? To all of the creation around you, and you're working hard towards this here. But that's what's facing you. But that's what, it's almost like you're changing your luck here, and there's a lot of moving pieces in doing so. And the next card we had was the number 13. That's the Death card. This is the Death card, right? We have the skeleton standing there. There's a sense of judgment in this Death card, as in he has risen. He has risen. Anyways, he's up. He's on his feet. Okay. We see skeletons' head on the floor. We see their swords that are broken. Their clogs that are broken. We can see some the Tom's head, but here he's up, he's on his feet. There's a bird on one hand. Is that a sword that he's carrying on the other hand? He's on the move. Whether that's the angel of death coming to make certain things, but behind him, look, that's the sun, that huge yellow thing you see there behind his waist area. That is the sun is rising up. Okay, daylight is about to come. With every ending, there's a new beginning, and that's denoted here on this card, right? The night sky is behind him. We can see the stars. We can see even the planets all the way in behind him. But right there, the sun is about to rise, right? It's the rising sun. Okay, so there are certain things have to be closed. There are certain accounts that needs to be closed down before that new beginning, before you can change, you can turn that luck, before you can find yourself in that new foundation that you're trying to set for yourself. Okay, the Four of Wands is finding foundation in your world. Look at this, the pyramid behind her, right? And here she's making that the symbol of, oh man, I can't remember what they call that symbol again. Oh, I can't, the name escaped me. But regardless, you are creating a new foundation for yourself. You are creating a new a new world for yourself. Okay, you're moving from that energy of lack, you're moving from that energy of isolation, and you're manifesting all this. That's the first card that we pulled, is a magician. You're manifesting all this, and you're putting the work, you're taking actions, you're finding your strength and courage to fight for it, and you're willing to let go of that old you or that old environment, to basically put an end to the things that no longer serve you, okay, in order for you to turn your luck, to step into that new foundation here. And I don't like when I don't remember those things. Let me try to see if I can find out what's the name for you of that symbol that she's basically creating herself. It's almost like that vortex, that never ending, right? That feeds into itself. Yeah, I can't remember the name of it. But anyways, and again, right, it's almost like each one of those ones card, they have a sense of movement, of dancing, right? Around them. She's also dancing here within that Four of Wands, right? It's a beautiful dance. She's on her toe, on one toe. She has found her balance. The four, like four portals, like, right? She has found a balance, a foundation. There are the four flowers on the ground along with the four ones, just like here we saw the three lotus flowers, right? So there is a sense of joy, of happiness, of balance, and they have she has the pyramid behind her, so that's a sense of legacy as well, right? Setting a new foundation, basically in alignment with ancestral legacy. That's the best way I can put it. I want to get some clarification card on that Three of Wands for you, Taurus. Some clarification card on the Three of Wands, Spirit, for Taurus. Some clarification card on the Three of Wands for Taurus. We almost had flippers, but there were too many. It wasn't just a couple of them. So we keep going. Some clarification for the Three of Wands card for Taurus, Spirit. Give us some clarification on the Three of Wands. 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 Okay, there we go. And we have here the Eight of Wands. Okay? And that is like speed, action. And that is the card of travel. Again, remember we saw travel before. That is the card. The Three of Wands is also can denote travel, okay? So there is a sense of movement here. Movement, whether in dance, movement, whether in travel, in changing location. Here we're seeing the same thing here. There is a sense of movement here. Okay, for some of you, Taurus, really, like I said, I picked that up. You may have to really move location. Some of you will have to travel to change location in order to change your luck. Perhaps some of you were away from your family members, and that was why you're feeling that sense of isolation, feeling like you perhaps have the job, you have a certain amount of abundance, of material abundance in your life, but you feel like something is lacking, right? Because you're not around your loved ones. And for some of you, travel will be required, or someone is far away from you and you're waiting for them to travel, to come back. You're waiting for a message, you're praying for them to get back, and it seems like you're going to get your wish, because that ending here, I'm going to get a clarification card on the Death card. It may be an end to that separation, okay? And when I pull up the Five of Pentacles at the bottom of the deck, what we have is a Three of Pentacles, okay? That is the card of reunion, okay? And here it happens to be two people, okay? And they have three cups amongst them, but it's a reunion of two souls. So for those of you, if it's a romantic situation, or if it's just a family situation, there will be the path to get out of this feeling of lack, of this feeling of poverty, of this feeling of isolation. It's of being left behind almost. It's to travel, it's to leave that environment you're in behind, or someone will do that so they can reunite with you. Okay. Spirit, some clarification on the Death card for Taurus. Clarification on the death card for Taurus spirit. Clarification. Oh, that literally really flipped. That's the moon. That's an ending to, perhaps there are things that you don't know about. Look what's underneath for you, Taurus. It's the 10 of Pentacles. That's just so beautiful. That is a accumulation of everything. Okay, once that decision is made, we have the 2 of Swords there. After I pulled up that 10 of Pentacles, you will get what you want. Everything will fall into place, right? You're gonna come from the 5 of Pentacles to the 10 of Pentacles. Once there's an end to the secrecy, with that moon card here, look, she's too look cold, right? She's in the cape, almost like she's hiding. She's moving almost like in the night sky, like almost she doesn't want to be seen. She's just like almost like escaping. There's a sense of escaping the shadow, escaping. But there's a face in that moon, in that full moon, right? Someone is watching over. Someone can see her, right? She's moving by the moonlight, following her intuition perhaps. But that ending here, and the moon is really a feminine energy, right? It's like that deep intuition. That ending is going to happen either by following your deep intuition, or that ending is an ending to secrets, okay? Here, whatever it is that was in the shadow, it will be revealed. That could be what that moon, for some of you, that's what it's showing here, okay? And some of you, perhaps you didn't know that wherever it is, what was staying far away from you, that you trying to reconnect with, perhaps you did not know they were holding a secret. They did not know how to come close to you because they had secrets. They didn't know how to reveal themselves to you, okay? And with that ending, all of this will be taken care of, okay? You'll be communicating. Someone will come closer to you. They'll be stepping out of the shadow. There'll be an ending with them being in the shadow, especially for those of you, if you are in a situation where it's a secret relationship, and someone was keeping you a secret, that they never shared you with their family, with their loved one. That's gonna come to an end, okay? You're gonna come out of the shadow. There's no need for you to be in hiding. They're going to declare their love. They're going to start a new foundation with you. It's gonna be a new family legacy that you will start together, okay? And you will have a lot of abundance. A lot of material wealth will come with it. You'll feel secured in what you two have together, if it's a romantic situation for some of you. Oh, wow. I just started shuffling. That's your woman's angel card, and something jumped quite ferociously. What do we have here? Release your ex. Interesting. That's what jumped out for you. The time has come to clear your energy. And at the bottom of the deck, we have make the effort. Great love is worth taking the steps you're guided to take. So, Taurus, some of you are being guided on a certain path, right? To leave something behind. And that's we have the death card here. What you're manifesting, what you're manifesting is a great relationship. Is a relationship that brings you love, abundance, where you can see it and smell the roses, right? Someone who's romantic towards you, someone who's giving you that bring you a lot of satisfaction. I want to put a smile on your face, right? And if that's what you're trying to manifest, and that hasn't been happening to you, and it's been a struggle for you in trying to bring this forth in your life, it has become a burden in trying to manifest it. Spirit is saying perhaps it's because that person is not your person. To let that go. And if it was someone in the past that was making you feel like that, like, making you work so hard, right? You are praying for it. You are showing your courage. You are holding on to show that I am your person. I can do this. We can do this. You're trying to build that foundation. Spirit's saying, like, release it. That's not your person. And once you release it, once you remove yourself, you put an end to that secrecy, an end to that relationship that had a lot of secrets, a lot of shadowy aspect to it. Once you put an end to that, you'll be moved out of isolation. You'll be moved from that feelings of lack. Okay, so you can for you to get what you want. And it's going to take great effort from you. And that's why we have that 7 of Wands here. That takes courage, okay, to put an end to something, especially if you become attached, okay? But once you do that, there's something beautiful awaiting you. You will start a new foundation here. And it's a 10 of Pentacles that's waiting for you. You're trying to manifest the 8 of Pentacles. But once you make the effort and you let go, you release, you put an end to what no longer serves you, you're gonna get more than what you're even asking for. And this is the Sacred Geometry Oracle deck. Ooh. Dancing Prayer. As we've seen that before. We have two that came out for you. We have Dancing Prayer that came upside up, and then we have the Invitation that came upside down for you, number 60. So we have 11 and 6. Okay, Dancing Prayer is number 38 that draws down to an 11. So I'm gonna look through the book for you. For those I like to read, as you guys know, for those of you that are familiar with my readings, the oracle messages from the book, because those are direct messages for you, okay? And for the Dancing Prayer here, there is a sense of we know it's basically the same as the Magician card, right? There's a sense of the same. I was like, you're manifesting things because you can see, you have higher knowledge, your third eye, with your mind eye. And the Dancing Prayer, the key word for it is Kundalini. It's passion, right? We can see the flower of life and the fruit of life in that card, creating a mosaic behind that dancer. And at the bottom and below we see the dances, the dancer is almost like in a trance, right? So I'm gonna read that part for you. For you, it says this: the fire burns so brightly that it can be seen by others in your face. Choosing this card finds you filled with the passion of some important occurrence that is nearly uncontainable. This fire burns so brightly that it can be seen by others in your face. Joy and laughter come to you easily as you become aware that passion is a dynamic, moving force in your life. This passion may be of love or work or artistry. You may feel that this passion comes from or is directed toward another. Know, however, that the beauty of your dance comes truly from who you are and the decisions you are making to get joy and creative energy moving through your life. Honor your passion and feel it down to the cellular level. It is a fire that feeds love. It is the juice from which genius arises. It is Kundalini. So Spirit is telling you the Dancing Prayer, it's basically like a version of the Magician card for me. And that's what I said at the beginning. That's always how I see this card. It's kind of like you may feel that it's coming from or it's directing towards another, that passion that you're feeling in your life. But Spirit is telling you, like, know that the beauty of your dance comes truly from who you are and the decisions you are making to get joy and creative energy into your life. The decision you are making, it's coming from who you are and the decision you are making. And that's what we're seeing here. You are the manifester, okay? You are the manifester. You are the one making this decision. You are the one actually with that 3 of Wands taking action to create that new beginning that you want, to get yourself out of that situation that perhaps no longer serves you, to remove yourself from that feeling of lack. You are the one that is creating that for yourself. Okay, yes, you have the backing of Spirit, but it's saying you are the one. The beauty of your dance comes truly from who you are and the decisions you are making to get joy and creative energy moving through your life. Honor your passion and feel it down to the cellular level. And I think that's why you have so many Wands card here, Taurus. From the other readings I've been doing so far, there's been a lot of air energy, a lot of Swords card. But here you come, you have the 3 of Wands, the 7 of Wands, you have the 4 of Wands, and you also have the 8 of Wands as a clarifying card here. That's a lot of fire energy coming from you. And that's, again, that Dancing Prayer. It's also fire energy, okay? To your own passion, you're creating your new beginning. You're creating your own joy. You're moving through life, okay? Moving through from situations of life that no longer serve you. It is the juice from which genius arises. It is Kundalini. The dancer embodies moving Kundalini energy. And that is what we see here, okay, with the magician, which is the major arcana, right? Which is an energy and energy from life, from source. And here we see that same energy that you're accessing from above is that same energy that you're creating below, and that's being sent again from above through your own actions, that work in progress, through your own work. Remember I said at the beginning, through your own work, you're sending that energy back up again. It's like you're embodying the energy here, and we can see it, that Kundalini energy. And this is a symbol I was telling you, I could not remember what's the name for it. Let's look here. You see, this is that Kundalini experience. This is that opening, that ever flowing flow, and it's above our crown chakra. The Kundalini experience is coming from above, and it's literally like creating a wave inside of her, and it's also below. That's that symbol here, and I think that's why I really wanted to remember exactly what it's called. That's that same symbol here, creating that vortex, that never ending, ripple effect here to your life. That's that new foundation that you're creating, and you're creating it with your own dance, with your own passion, with your own movement, by embodying that Kundalini experience. And this is the dancing prayer. Remember what I said here, all those ones cards you have on the table, there's a sense of movement, of dance. I saw a ritualistic dance with that three of wands. I saw almost a paso doble with that 7 of wands here, with that gentleman. And here again, that was almost an interpretive dance we saw here with that 4 of wands, right? It's just so beautiful how it all ties in together. Like, it's such a success message for you from spirit. The other card we had here is it's number 60, and that one came out in reverse. Let's see what message the oracle wants to convey to you here. Okay, there's no need in trying to summarize these messages from this, because it's so direct, and I feel like when I read it from the book, it's straight from whatever message you're supposed to receive straight to you. Okay, if I feel like something needs to add on, I add it on, but otherwise I really like to relay the message as it is. So you had the invitation in reverse, and it says other dimensions. You have naively ventured into unknown territory. You are unprepared for what you may encounter or what may occur. Be advised to regroup and consider your goals and objectives before stepping blindly into the unknown. Caution is indicated. You have naively ventured into unknown territory. You're unprepared for what you may encounter or what may occur. So this here come with the Kundalini experience, and it's a caution card, and it's almost as if, okay, especially for those of you, and I know this is going long, but that's the message that's coming through, and I really want to put this out there. And I at the beginning, when I started this channel, I've told you guys about my path, that it's been a 2 year since I've actively understood what's going on, and I had my awakening process, and I really started learning and growing in my own spirituality. And in the process of doing so, I've also realized I've always been a deeply spiritual person, not just in the generic sense of it, as in we're a spiritual being, but in that I was awakening before I realized I was awakening, right? My big awakening process, my third eye opening, my Kundalini process, it happened about 2 years ago, right? I went through that what's the expression that we use again, but anyways, I go back now in life, I see the way I live my life, the decisions that I made. I was already there. I was always in preparation to be that person that I am. Okay, I have a greater awareness and understanding about those things that have happened in the past. But it's the same thing with everything else. When you're starting on your journey, for those of you, if this is a romantic situation, or this is like a spiritual situation, because for you, and when I started this message here, I told you there's a real spiritual message for you, Taurus. And for those of you, I feel like this warning is for those of you that are studying in your own spiritual journey. It is worth to find a mentor. It is worth, even if it's you that's your own mentor, but you have to really have a level of discernment, okay, about it all. Like we say, there are positive energy and there are negative energies in this world. So you don't want to go too fast. It's like learning how to drive, right? You're learning how to drive. First you get on the road, you learn the basics, and then you you before you even get on the road, what this button does, what this mechanic does with the car. And then you get on the road, you go on a safe road, on a quiet road, maybe even in a lot, in a parking lot. Then you learn how to control the steering wheel, how to press gas and brake and all of that. Then eventually you progress into getting into the highway, right? You go at higher speed, you learn how to parallel park, you learn all those other things, right? So it's the same way for those of you that are starting in your spiritual journey. There's such a sense of euphoria that can come with it. Once you understand, you're starting to learn the secret of the universe that I've always laid right there in front of you. There is a sense you want to jump to both feet forward, right? You want to learn as much as you want to learn. But knowledge is power, but our knowledge not fully understood, not fully protected, leaving yourself open, you can also put yourself in danger, okay? To open yourself up so much without the proper protection, that negative entities and negative energy can also come towards you. We have the death card there, clarifying by the moon card. There is a sense here, yes, for some of you, it's putting an end with the death card to a cycle of secrecy, a cycle of shadowy work. But it's also a sense here, this being like, perhaps this is the angel of death coming towards you. Perhaps this is like a threat, right? A threat to that foundation that you're trying to set up, to a threat to you opening your having that Kundalini experience, opening your third eye, opening yourself to a higher level of awareness. Perhaps this is the threat, and the threat has to do with the things in the shadow, the deeper aspect of intuition, the darker, because the moon deals with dark energy, right? It's feminine energy, but it's also it's dark energy with the moon, right? So perhaps that threat is with like the shadowy aspect of energy that you don't see, that you're not paying attention to, okay, that can sink in. So this is for those of you that are in that spiritual journey, that there's a warning there, and the warning is basically telling you to not go too far or too fast before you're ready, okay? To steady yourself, to stay on your journey, to have faith, to have control, but also to know you are creating something that's very great here. You are stepping into something that's bigger than the self here, right? And in doing so, it's very important to temper yourself. It's very important to be grounded, to have a certain foundation, okay? To really be grounded in your foundation, and then you can build up, not to get carried away by the dance, but to be aware what's the next step as you're going through the dance, as you're going through the ritual, as you're going through the routine here. Okay, that's a very strong message. I feel like some of you needed to hear it, and really, I hope this reading is of help to somebody. That it seems like there was 3 or 4 different stories in this reading here, and like I said, I'm gonna have to go back and listen to it again. I myself being a Taurus rising, and apply it as it fits into your life. Don't try to force it. Don't try to make it fit. Okay, if it does, it will just be a like you'll just recognize it right away. And thank you so much for your continued support, Taurus. Come back again at mid-month for the next set of reading for April. And remember, love is the only answer. Bye. Thank you.